to the fragile peace between Ethiopia and Eritrea, which is now under renewed strain. Addis Ababa has formally accused Asmara of colluding with factions of the Tigray People's Liberation Front to prepare a military offensive, reviving old hostilities that many hoped had been left behind after the 2018 rapprochement. Now, with tensions escalating, questions of historical grievances, regional ambitions, and shifting alliances loom large over the Horn of Africa. And to help us untangle what's at stake, we're now joined by Faisal Roble, who's a public intellectual and expert on the Horn of Africa. Thank you so much indeed for joining us, and welcome to the program.
Thank you very much. I'm here.
So you've studied the Horn of Africa for many years now. How would you summarize the historical relationship between Ethiopia and Eritrea and the key events that still perhaps cast a shadow today?
I think it has been challenging historical relationship in the sense that the two sides were at one time under one flag during the Emperor of Haile Selassie and also during the Derg. But Eritrea sought its independence, and after a bloody war, it became its own country. There was a period when the two were amicably working together, and then in 2018, it seems they have even upgraded their relationship and became very friendly. But that didn't last because of the historical issues that never being healed. One of which is the fact that Ethiopia never really accepted the secession of Eritrea, which took the only port it had, which is Assa port. So by leaving Ethiopia as a landlocked, some of us knew that sooner or later that issue will resurface and the conflict will re-emerge, and that's where we are today.
So Ethiopia has accused Eritrea of forming a new alliance with a hardline TPLF faction, naming it Simdo, and claims that Eritrea is funding and mobilizing and directing militias like Fano in Amhara. Is there any evidence to support this that maybe is publicly available?
So the culture of northern Ethiopia, including Eritrea, is one of secrecy, whether there is war or not. So far, Ethiopia has not shown anybody tangible evidence as to that claim. However, there are circumstantial evidences that Ethiopia is rolling around, one of which is they claim that Eritrea is arming in the Fano, parts of Tigray's military functions, but we have not seen any evidence. There is the cultural suspicion that because of the fact that alliances shift, Ethiopia is suspicious that the alliance that it had with Eritrea when it was fighting against the Tigray could easily now shift into an Eritrean alliance with Tigray and Fano. So outside that cultural suspicion, which often becomes a reality in terms of the shifting alliances, we cannot really say there have been evidences Ethiopia has shown to the world.
If it's true, what could possibly Eritrea gain from this?
Well, number one, it will probably silence the rhetoric that's coming from the threat that's coming from Ethiopia, which is saying that Ethiopia is adamant to retake Assad. So that would be a major gain. The second gain is if Eritrea is arming Tigray and Fano, there is the possibility that Abiy could be removed from the power. It looks like Ethiopia's army, despite the numbers that it has, seems to be weak when it fights against Fano and Tigray. And if Eritrea is included in the question, many people speculate that Abiy may not have a long term in his rule.
This is a story I think that's certainly going to be playing out for some time, but thank you so much indeed for sharing your thoughts with us, and let's see what happens next.
Thank you very much.
Thanks for your time. All right, so that was Faisal Roble, who's a public intellectual expert on the Horn of Africa, talking to us about these deepening tensions between Ethiopia and Eritrea.
Gender-based violence is destroying lives and tearing communities apart. It happens in homes,